So we're a long way into not being a good golfer, and I'm just 5 over through 5 every single time I ever play. And I'm out here pretending like I can golf, and it's so stupid. I'm like, what? I'm just like an 8 handicap.
Welcome to the Bag Chatter Podcast. I'm your host, Bryan, joined, as always, by my co-host, a man who feeling very sad because of what's happening in his sports life right now. Adam, how are you?
I'm on a cliff, Bryan. I'm on a cliff, a sports fandom cliff. Yeah, we were recording this the day after the Celtics lost to the Knicks to go down 3-1, but more importantly, Jason Tatum apparently tore his Achilles.
Yeah.
This is gonna come out. This is not going to be timely information. This is going to seem like old news, but let this serve as a time capsule for the dark pit I have fallen into as a sports fan. So the Celtics dynasty is ruined. The Red Sox are headed for 81 and 81. The next meaningful sporting event for me is Patriots Week 1. That's how grim this is.
I saw this tweet and I screenshotted it. I was going to send it to you. I never did. Somebody tweeted, if Tatum misses all of next season, there will be no Boston teams that begin their season with any legitimate shot at winning a title for the first time in 25 years.
Okay, let's not go that far.
Agree or disagree?
The Patriots are going to come in hot. Patriots are going to come in hot. No, all right. That's not. Can't do this. We can't do this, Bryan. We're not a Boston sports podcast.
What we are is a golf podcast. You represented Honeybrook in the Gap team matches, which we've talked about that pretty much every season here on the podcast. I was not able to play in week 1. I only played week 2 and 3. You were able to play for Honeybrook's first team, and your first week's match was against a special opponent for you.
Yeah, got to travel to Applebrook, which is the course where I caddied for parts of 10 years. Just kind of on and off, but it was a place I was around all the time. It's really the period of life where I became a decent golfer. I was not much of a golfer to speak of. I played a lot of golf, but I, had never broken 80, had never done anything until I worked at Applebrook and got some course access and got around some people. And so it's a special place to me. And so getting to go there, not as an employee, but as a guest, was a really, really cool experience. Yeah.
If you're not familiar with Gap match format, you're playing against an opponent in an individual match, but you're also playing in a team match at the same time. You can win front, back, and overall on your own ball. You can also win front, back, and overall as a team. And of course, your partner is trying to do the same thing. So 9 total points are available for you and your partner. Adam, correct me if I'm wrong, but I believe you and Ian won 8 of a possible 9 points at Applebrook week 1.
Yes. So did not have my A game. It was cold. It was rainy. And you'll chide me for this, I did not layer correctly. And so I was underdressed for the weather, and I got off to a bad start. I was, a couple down through 3, stormed back to win the front.
Ooh, love that.
Yeah, stormed back. Stole it on the 9th hole. Like I had set aside, I was like trying to salvage a half point on the front. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Or even just keep it to 1-2 down so that a good back could still win the overall. Somehow won the front 9, which was just wild.
Love that.
And then unfortunately I gave up half a point. I was on the back, so I had closed out the overall match. I think I was 2 up with 3 to play and lost 2 of those 3 holes to give up a half a point and keep me from winning all my possible points.
Still a good showing, though.
Yeah, no, it was good to go to a place I cared about and get the win.
2 weeks later, because they don't play on Easter. It was week 2 of GAT matches. You were again on the road playing at St. David's. I was on the road for Media Heights playing at Penn Oaks. Yeah, what do you remember most about week 2, and why was it the wind?
And what it was crazy out there. I mean, genuinely crazy. Some of the craziest wind I've ever played in.
Yeah, you actually had a scenario you were telling me about, which I feel like you need to recount, where you actually conceded a putt that then moved because of the wind.
Yes. So I was on the 9th hole at St. David's. Beautiful. Man, Honeybrook got the best draw in terms of GAT match. So we got to play Applebrook, St. David's, another large private course, and then Philly Cricket Club, which is where the Truist was last week. I mean, just ridiculous to get to play those 3 places all in a row, and I got to play on the road for all of them. And so St. David's, I took a quick lead in my match. I believe I was 3 up on the 9th green, and I had a putt for like a long-ish putt for par. He was off the front of the green. He chipped it up 2 feet short of the hole. It stopped. I said, great shot. He's walking up. I say, that's good. And I then bend down to pick up or to put down my ball. And I look up and his ball has rolling. His ball
rolling.
His ball has rolled towards me and is picking up speed, comes to rest behind me on my line, 25 feet from the hole. And at first I was like, dude, I'm so sorry. And he was like, no, he's like, this certainly isn't a gimme. And then I thought about it and I was like, I think that possibly me saying that verbally committed me to the concession. And I said, dude, just pick it up, and gave him the putt, which turns out is the correct ruling.
Yep.
So I conceded it. The greens were very fast. The wind was crazy, but I won all 9 points at St. David's. Ian and I were a mean team. Ian is 16 and an unbelievable golfer. So wow. I was with him. Great kid. Really enjoyed playing with him. I played with him all 3 weeks in the end. But yeah, I think that round at St. David's was my best round of the year thus far. So I shot 74 in that wind on crazy greens. And so handicap differential, not fantastic. It was like 3-ish. Mm-hmm. And I'm like, I'm not sure I've played a more solid scoring round than that in a while.
Yeah. I was maybe 45 minutes away from you at Penn Oaks playing for media. And yeah, the wind was insane. It was just relentless. It seemed like it got worse the later we got into the match. I also played pretty well. Won my front 3-2, won my back 4-3, won the overall like 5-4. Wasn't even close. So yeah, I got all 3 points, which was nice. I think on our team ball, I think we split the points. Well, yeah, we did split the points actually, because on the 18th green, my opponent got in for par, and I had like a 15-footer for par that I needed to hit in order to split the back for our team and also split the overall for our team. And I put way too much pace on this putt, but it was dead center and just dropped. And
love
so
that.
That felt good. I think I shot like 83 at a course I wasn't familiar with in the wind. So I felt pretty good about that. So great showing from the Bag Chatter guys in week 2. Week 3, you go to Philly Cricket, but because they're hosting the Truist the following week, you had to play at their kind of secondary course, which is maybe second to none in terms of conditioning and all that. But tell us about that.
Well, the only thing I'd say, I know that the setup for the Wissahickon course, which is where the tournament was played, is obviously superior to Militia Hill. It was unbelievable to be on those grounds at all. I mean, that was, the condition was second to none on Militia Hill. If you had told, genuinely, if you had told me that Militia Hill was Wissahickon, I wouldn't have been like, this is what they're talking about. That's Militia Hill's an unbelievable golf course.
Yeah.
And so very cool to play there. All the stands were set up. It was the Sunday before the tournament. So there was a city of people there. It was very cool environment, very cool experience to be there at that moment in time. I played well again. I believe I got 7.5 points. Is that right? You have the information in front of you.
Yeah, I believe that's what you have. I like how you say I got 7.5 points, as if Ian didn't help you.
No, Ian did help me. Here's the thing: Ian helped me. No, but I believe I took all 3 from my guy.
Yeah, and
we got 7.5 together, and capped off. So this is my second year of gap match. We did have a 3-hour rain delay in there, which was not the greatest, and so it was a long day, but I capped it off, and I've been playing for Honeybrook's Team 1 for 2 years now. Played a lot of good players, I feel like, played some plus handicaps, and I'm 4-1-1 through 2 years, and I'm 5-1 on my better ball. So I feel good about my gap match showing in my early experiences with it.
Yeah, as you should. It's public record. I love that about it. Anyone can go on the Gap Golf website and look at scouting reports for other players.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that's fantastic.
How did your week 3 go?
My week 3 went similar. It went similar to yours, went similar to my week 2. I actually was home for week 3. We were playing against Wyncote, which is a public golf course. Actually, you're going to be playing a qualifier there, I believe, soon. But yeah, played against Greg and Mike. I was matched up against Mike. Mike did not have his best stuff, but I played well again. So I beat him on the front 4-3. Overall, I think I beat him 4-3 as well. We were kind of neck and neck on the back. Actually, coming to 17, we were all square, and he was in for par. I had like 15, 18 feet for par, made it to keep it all square. And then on the final hole, in my attempt to skunk him, media ends on a par 3. He was like, we both hit the green, but he was 60 feet. I was like 30 feet. And he hit a great 60-foot putt up to like 4 or 5 feet, put a coin on it. And then I rolled my 30-footer in just to put the dagger in. And he was not happy because that gave me all 3 points against him.
Love that.
And so I think I shot 81 maybe. Again, there were a few sloppy holes, but I played well enough to win overall. So great experience for me. I've had some pretty bad gap match seasons before. This one was really good, and I'm at a new club, so trying to be rookie of the year, and felt like I did what I needed to do in gap.
Took a step in the right direction.
Absolutely. Now you put together basically 3 really good rounds, maybe except for the start at Applebrook.
Mm-hmm.
Has that good play been carried over into some of the competitive stuff that you've been playing?
I wouldn't say so, Bryan.
Let's talk about it.
So I shot. It's just strange because I did not do very well in my U.S. Open qualifier. I don't know if that episode's released, but you know what? I didn't do very well in it. Spoiler alert.
I think that's going to be next week. You can tell us all about it, all the details.
And then in these gap matches, so I just said 74 at St. David's. I think I shot 73 at Philly Cricket. And so, I was playing solid golf. These were slightly shorter. They're set up to, member tees in these things, so we're not playing the tips or anything. But then I went out in the Gap Mid-Am qualifier, trying to qualify for the Mid-Am, and it's at Coatesville Country Club, right around the corner from my house. And I'm looking at, so I was in the afternoon, and I'm looking at the late wave, and it's looking like qualifying might be in the 77, 78 range. It was rainy. It was gross. So the number did drop a little bit, which made me feel a little better because I think it wound up, I think 75 was the number in the end.
Okay.
And so, but I'm going in thinking, okay, all you need to do is hold it together. You need to play a normal round of golf.
What is it, like 80 people for 30 spots or something?
It wound up being more than that. It was like 120 people for 30 spots.
Okay.
So, but you know, a fair chance where I'm like, if I shoot again, and we know what the number's roughly going to be. If you shoot 74, you know you're in. Doesn't matter how many spots there are, you know you're in. You know what I'm saying? And I'm like, okay, so just play a normal round of golf. Just done. But I had struggled, you know, playing down south a little bit and was a little bit in my head. And these gap matches, I don't know why they didn't, even though I had shot 74, 73, it just felt a little, it's match play. It's different. It's a different mindset. I haven't gone out this year and posted a number in a tournament. It hasn't happened, you know, like, and so I'm like, okay, just go play like you did at Philly Cricket. Go play like you did at St. David's, and you are through to the mid-am. And I hit a great drive off one in the pouring rain. It's a long par 5 uphill. Hit a 4-iron from there on a layup to about 60 yards. Hit one into the middle of the green, and then 3-putted for bogey. And that's the last time I felt joy that day. Was before you know, the layup and the ball into the middle of the green. I was like hopeful. And then so I hit the next one right into the middle of the fairway, hit a horrible wedge shot, couldn't get up and down, made bogey. Tough par 3, you know, make bogey, make a good par on a long par 3, and then make double. And we're like 5 over through 5. Just like immediately. Then it's like, okay, well, here's this par 5 to get it back. And I hit a great tee shot. I have like a 6-iron into a par 5, and I borderline shank one over behind some trees, wind up making bogey 6 over through 6. And it's just like, it just kind of went from there. And then so like I fought, and then I forget what hole it was. It was maybe my 8th hole. I hit a good tee shot and then pulled the ball long and left of the green a little bit, but was like, okay, I'll just get up and down, and couldn't find the ball. Turns out it was out of bounds in the driving range. I didn't think that was even a possibility where I was. And so made double there. And from there, so I shot 85 and I'm just like, I just can't believe I shot 85. It was rough.
Yeah. I was watching the scorecard while you were playing, and I feel like you've gotten off to a lot of slow starts now over the past like 12 months of golf. So I was unhappy to see that again. I was like, well, maybe he'll turn it around and, you know, sneak in there, maybe sneak in a 79 or 80. I knew probably you weren't going to qualify, but it looked like, you know, you just never righted the ship, and it was what it was.
Yeah. I just feel like every time I play, I feel like I'm 5 over through 5 or something dumb. And then I will often finish strong.
The more we talk about it, I'm not like trying to kick you while you're down, because you're not down, you're sitting up. But it almost feels like, is this like going on 2 years now of like,
oh yeah,
good start or bad starts and then like saving it? Like, I felt like that happened every Bag Chatter World Series last year. I feel like even going back to season 1, there were like moments where you were beside yourself at how terrible you were playing, and then on the back 9 you're like firing birdies. It's definitely a long-standing pattern.
It's what golf feels like to me right now. And so it's just like, I don't know how to describe it. It's like, and what's frustrating is I don't feel like I'm hitting all these terrible shots. It's just like there's like a lack. I don't know if it's a mental thing. I don't know what it is, but there's a lack of sharpness. Yeah. And I just find my way to bogeys. I feel like I bogey the first hole every time. And it's like, I don't know why.
And you're not, I mean, some of these rounds you're having a good warm up. some of the rounds.
Yeah, I've got the Rapsodo at home, so I'm hitting balls, I'm getting loose, and then I'm hitting some at the range. I'm rolling putts. I should be where I need to be.
Yeah,
it's just I settle in, and I think I don't know.
Well, you say you're having trouble describing it. I think maybe I can help you. We got out to play together last Saturday, which was fun because it was maybe one of the first times we've played together all year, other than the tournament we played in last month. Really fun match we had against Ty and Mike, and we were at Cross Gates. I guess this is on the 8th hole. Once again, you were not playing up to the standard of golf that you felt like you should have. So I feel like I owed it to the listeners to pull out the phone and just try to get you to capture how you're feeling. So
I'm afraid to listen to this. This is going to bring me to a dark place, I feel.
Here's what that sounded like.
Where you left? Is it left of the tower?
Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah. So it is.
Then I was aiming for the aim. I missed it. I was aiming left, and then I hit it 20 yards left of that.
Just put some thoughts down.
I don't know what you want from me. I am not a good golfer. And so we're a long way into not being a good golfer, and I'm just 5 over through 5 every single time I ever play. And I'm out here pretending like I can golf, and it's so stupid. I'm like, what? I'm just like an 8 handicap is what it is. And so it's like, I just want to die. So just like, I'm 8, so we're at Cross Gates. This is a little nothing golf course.
Yeah.
I should eat a golf course like this alive.
Shots fired at Cross Gates.
I'm 8 over through 7. I'm 8 over through 7. I'm not even playing that bad. That's the problem. The problem is I've hit something I don't actually feel like I'm playing horrible, but I just can't do anything good. If it's good, I cannot do it. And I'm so done. I'm like, I want to quit golf. I want to at least quit pretending that I know how to golf, because this is such a joke.
All right. 2 hours from now, you're going to put 2 birdies together and you're going to be back. Calling it now.
I don't know that you did put 2 birdies together, but it was another, 44-37?
Yeah. 44-37. And it's like, and the problem is, I feel like this whole year has been encapsulated by the numbers 44-37, roughly, where it's like, so it's not, again, the 37, it's not like I'm going low for the 37, but I'm playing to how I expect to play golf, roughly, and so if I'd gone 37-37, it wouldn't have been at that course remarkable.
Right.
But it's like, it would have just been, okay, round of golf, and I just keep getting off to these slow starts and I don't want it to get in my head. I don't think it is. I mean, what am I talking about? I just listened to that audio. It's obviously in my head a little bit, but it's just so frustrating. And I'm putting in so much work into golf this year.
Right.
And I actually think I'm swinging the club from a technical standpoint, maybe better than I have in a long time. Mm-hmm. But I have not gotten on course this much this year as I have other years. So I've been playing golf swing rather than golf a little bit, like to use the cliche, a little bit more. And so I think I'm just getting out there. I genuinely think the switch flipped at Cross Gates when I actually told myself, I'm like, don't think about your swing, at all. Like I'm feeling very technical. For the first time in my life, I've had a couple times where I'm like I've got enough swing thoughts in my head that there's okay, well now pull the trigger kind of thing. That's just not how I function. And so I, on the back nine, was just trust it and just try until something goes terribly wrong, try to hit golf shots and don't worry about all these checkpoints in your address and all this stuff. So I don't know. I don't know.
That is interesting because obviously on the Rapsodo, you do have a TV set up and you're getting visual feedback, but I can see how it's more about like, okay, let's make this one a good swing. Let's make this one a good swing versus where the ball's actually landing, because there actually is no ball actually landing anywhere.
Right.
In terms of the mental part of it, I think there is something mental going on, but at the same time, like, it's not like we're driving in the course and you're feeling like, man, I hope I don't get off to a bad start.
No,
like,
not at all.
I'm so worried about, I completely believe you in that. Like, I know that's not how you operate. So
it only triggers when I bogey the third hole and I'm like 3 over through 3. I'm like, here we go. Here we go.
Yeah.
And I do generally, I feel something I learned from the gap matches. Actually, it's interesting. I really do feel like I play well back to the wall a little bit.
Yeah.
Where I'm like, okay, like, if you don't play well now, you're going to embarrass yourself. We play, it's kind of funny because this was not like, it was we played with Ty, who, and Parker knew, and, he listens to our podcast. And so he said to me when I'm like 8 over through 7, he jokingly was like, come on, man. Like I've listened to all these podcasts. This is not what I was expecting. Right. And I'm like, and that did a little bit for me, make me go like, no, really, don't embarrass yourself.
Yeah.
And I'm like, sometimes for me, like the thought, don't embarrass yourself is enough of a motivation to buckle down a little bit in some way. And I don't know how to describe that, but yeah, I don't know what it is. I'm grasping at straws.
Yeah. I hope you can figure something out. Maybe it's not like, hey, there's a mental deficiency there or a weakness you got to strengthen, but maybe there's some kind of trick that you can pull on yourself to get into like aggressive. Because even in the Bag Chatter World Series last year, like, not that those were high stakes or anything, but you were down because you were playing crappy. And then when it was like, oh, Bryan is actually maybe about to beat me here, suddenly you turn it on, like literally almost every single time. You did it at Applebrook this year in the gap matches. Yeah. And maybe that's why you play a little bit better in the match play situations, because it's a little more defined, like what's a W, what's an L. I don't know, but I do hope you can figure something out, because I feel like this has been going on for a while now. You got we got some things coming up. We got a 2-man scramble, the Lenko 2-man scramble coming up that we are not partnering together on. You're partnering with Honeybrook Club champion Jake Rotelli. I'm partnering with Tanglewood Club champion Josh Lawson. So both teams have a legit shot at potentially winning this thing, which is fun. You've got some other qualifiers coming up, I think, too.
Yeah, I've got the Gap AM qualifier at Wyncote, as you mentioned, the Monday after our tournament on Saturday. So looking forward to it. And yeah, it's a weird thing because like I feel when I say that I feel good with my swing, partly what I mean by that is that like in this scramble format, I feel more equipped than I've ever felt by a lot to go contribute well to a 2-man scramble team. You know what I'm saying? Like even when I'm playing bad, even on my bad holes, I'm hitting a lot of good shots, and it's just like not piecing it together. So I'm excited about the scramble and not having to listen. I don't think Jake and I are going to be 5 over through 5 in our scramble. I don't believe that.
If you are, please grab some audio, because I want to hear what that sounds like.
It'll be me jumping into the river. It'll be just the sound of a splash as I jump off the highest point into the shallowest point of that river.
All right. So yeah, we'll probably give you a quick recap of how that goes in future episodes. But next week, got a special gift to those of you who love the Adam solo pod experience. Got a solo pod coming up next week.
Mom, we're talking about you. Right there. Told you need a shout out.
Yeah, I am excited. I already know how your U.S. Open qualifier went. You're a wizard with the pen, and so I'm excited to see how you wrote it up and how you share that story. Looking forward to that next week. So we'll catch you then. Thanks for listening to the Bag Chatter podcast. You can find us online if you search for the Bag Chatter handle. And if you want to reach out, shoot us an email at bagchattergolf@gmail.com. Music credits are in the show notes. Golf clubs are always in the trunk. My Lake Mason series of novels for middle schoolers are on Amazon, and your next round might be your best ever, so get out there as soon as you can. Catch you next time.
So strong.